Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching Glenda's Dragon's Den. I just want to take this moment to really say how grateful I am for all of my followers, or everyone that watches this podcast, and you share it, you like it. And if you have not done so yet, please subscribe. My channel is completely free to subscribe. I don't charge for anything. So why not? And this way you'll get to see what comes up, right? Before anybody else, you get notification. Don't be silly, people. This is a free notification thing. So I'm joking. You know I'm joking. You know I love you all. So I have today a great guest. She is nervous, so let's make her feel comfortable, people. You know, when you see this, do let's share in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's get her all wild up. Let's get her comfortable. And you know how I've always been. I'm always very much so nervous. I get stage fright. You know that. So let's make everybody comfortable, right? Let's share this. I want to share, 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 share. I don't care if you see this 5 weeks after it's been done. Share, 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 share. You know why? Because you give others the same perspective as you receive. And you never know. Maybe somebody could awaken by just a note or a word that Angelique says. All right. So welcome, Angelique.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. So my audience is always, always very curious about my guests. They like to know a little bit about their background, what got them here, what got their attention, whatever you can share. I know that there's stuff that's a lot, you want to keep your privacy, you want to keep some to yourself, but go for it. Just tell us.
Thank you. I just want to say I appreciate your intro video and the music that you're using. It's so fairy-like, and I really love it. So great choice, great choice.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see. So currently I'm a mage apprentice, training in magic to let me differentiate. So there's the witchcraft magic and mage magic. I would just say it like that. So I'm focusing on mage magic and not witchcraft, and we can get into what's the difference if you want to. I have a very good distinctive I would say, what would you call it? Something that's like this. Yeah, a description between the two, so that you can really know which one is which. So I will tell you that. So I'm currently living in Johannesburg, in South Africa. If anybody doesn't know where that is, and magic in Africa is just so raw. Like it's not that I have been to many places, but I know that magic in Africa is just like really raw. Like here, people are not against it in the sense that they have been told, it's not real. There's a lot of people here that practice and believe, and like it's just like it's kind of like everywhere, especially among more of the, I would say, indigenous people that lived here before colonization, especially among them. It's like a really raw thing, and like they get up to some crazy things. But I would say that's like more in witchcraft. Magecraft, I would say, is not practiced that much, like most people associate with being a witch. So for magecraft, and I know it has such a silly reference to what gamers are playing, so we have a Discord server even, and on the Discord server we specifically say they're like, this is for real world magic, it's not for gamers. So that's so you're going to confuse the subject, but let me tell you what is the distinct difference between magecraft and witchcraft. So mages have magical brooms that they fly on, and witches have magical brooms that they fly on, and mages don't have magical brooms. So that's like the biggest difference.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anybody asks you, that's it. Okay, so
There you go. One has transportation, the other one doesn't.
yeah, one has transportation, the other one has teleportation.
There we go.
So yeah, I would say I was interested in magic, but I grew up in Christianity, and I was more interested in Catholicism because it has like ritual aspects to it. You know, it just has like that kind of feeling to it, a kind of a
Mhm.
vibe. So I was more attracted to that than I was attracted to Christianity. But I was, Christianity is kind of like forced upon you as you grow
Mhm.
up. So magic
Mhm.
was evil. Watching anything to do with magic was evil. Like
Mhm.
so, I had a quite like I suppressed what I felt, but I often fantasized, for example, about walking into the church with a tray of water and like just reaching into the tray, like pulling the water out, like a string of pearls, for example, and everybody freaks out. Like I used to fantasize about that because I really liked the idea, but suppression. So
I know.
I think someone at a stage realized that I'm going down the wrong way because I was even like getting to like into fanatic Christianity because I was looking at um why why the whole Sabbath thing that the Judaism practices and
Right.
Christians. So I was looking into that stuff, and then I really got into like fanatic Christianity, and someone noticed that this was a problem. So where this all started for me is actually like the big wake up for me was and so this is going to be the first time I'm actually sharing this story live or like with anybody like in this setting. I've always just like chatted about it low key, but
Right.
so I had gone through a series of experiences where I moved into a house and I could see like if I looked down at the shower tiles, I would see that there was like that colors that you see inside a soap bubble. I
Yeah.
would look at the tiles and I would see these colors, and I'd call some friends like when they visit. I'm like, "Come look at the shower. Can you see this? Can you see this?" And nobody sees what I'm seeing.
Right.
So at that stage where I was living, it was like a terraced place, and the people lower down had a what I think is a microwave antenna. It's one of those antennas for internet connection, but it
Right.
was like the microwave shape. So I used to look at that thing and hate it because I was like, "You are doing this to me." Like I thought it's like sending me like it's messing with my brain or something. So I was like, eventually I moved away from there, but the what I was seeing like continued.
Mhm.
So then I realized like, okay, something really is going on here. So the major, I'm not going to go into each event that happened, but like the major event for me was I used to sleep and then I would see grids. I would like wake up and see grids. I would see coils. I would see like I have drawn some pictures of the things that I've seen when I wake up, but like I can't describe it. Like it's
Right.
just like so outlandish, and I don't understand till this day. I don't really understand how I was able to see that when I wake up. But anyways, a long story. I one particular night woke up. I just went to sleep. Like I went to sleep like just past 12,
Right.
and I woke up just before 1.
Mhm.
And so I woke up and I saw this grid pattern against the cupboard, high up against the cupboard, next to my bed. And then I went to sleep and I woke up and I saw it and it was a little bit lower down and I slept some more. And like up until that time, I had never been sure if the things that I'm seeing, if it's my imagination, if it's dreams, what's
Right.
really happening. So that night, that grid pattern, when I woke up the third or fourth time, I was lying down sleeping.
Right.
And then that grid pattern was like right here by
Oop.
my face, like
Oop.
like like a ruler away, even less. So I totally freaked out. And it had a presence. It wasn't something that is like light. It had a
Right.
presence. I
Right.
freaked out and I was like, and so the amazing thing is that I realized afterwards is that person who they were got a fright when I got a fright. The other got a fright. They were annoyed. They didn't expect me to see them, and they themselves made this sound when they stood up. it sounded a little bit like a click click sound, but it also sounded like I was hearing it through water. So it was like it wasn't really in my reality, but really
You could
strange.
kind of hear it far away, kind of thing.
Kind of. It
Yeah.
was like I heard it through water, and it was like a
Okay.
click click sound, and it sounded either annoyed or surprised. And it stood up and it turned away from my bed and walked towards the window. And what I could see is this is the crazy thing. I could see the grid pattern at the front of the chest. I could see through the body. I could see the grid pattern at the back of the chest. And the grid pattern was kind of like greenish, yellowish of color,
Okay.
like a neon color.
Hmm.
I could see the shape of the neck and shoulders, but I couldn't see anything else. And it was like a really tall being. And then so they walked out through the window, and I totally freaked out.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
grabbed my phone, I grabbed my pillows, and I ran to my son's bedroom. I slept there for a week with the lights on. Well, I tried not to sleep, but I would fall asleep. So I was like, I'm not going to sleep again because I was totally freaked out.
Right.
And speaking to friends, nobody could tell me, what was going on. I wasn't interested in ufology at that stage or anything like that. I completely, I was chasing money. so, yeah, this was so weird. So I thought, okay, sleeping with the light on is going to help. And then several nights went by, like trying not to sleep, but eventually falling asleep and stuff like that. So eventually, sleeping on my son's bed was so uncomfortable because he would kick me, and it wasn't very comfortable. So eventually, I went to sleep downstairs and on the couch, and I had the light on, and I saw this grid pattern again, and I was like, having the lights on doesn't even help,
I was gonna say surprise.
So during all of that period, I'd
Mhm.
spoken to a religious friend, and the friend said to me, God says that you mustn't worry, he will protect you from this. And I was like, why the fuck did he not protect me from this in the first place? Like,
Right.
why did I have to go through this experience, in the first place? Why didn't he protect me from the beginning?
Right.
So that's where I started questioning this, for real, started questioning this Christianity thing. So
Right.
from there, so I'm thinking that was someone that like intervened in my life to get me on track,
Hmm.
because from there I one morning woke up and I just wondered, what does Judaism say about extraterrestrials? Because I was obsessed to try and figure out what this was. I was wondering, what does the Judaism say about extraterrestrials? And
Right.
then I found a thing by a Jewish rabbi talking about how Christianity breaks down on a certain level and they don't have answers for certain questions.
Right.
And then that propelled me out of Christianity. And then suddenly I pivoted towards Judaism.
Right.
But this was like the further part of the journey, because eventually I ended up in Johannesburg, um, totally prepared to convert. And but so what's amazing about this thing is I used to sit outside, because now I was used to like the ufology thing. I was sitting outside often, looking at the sky, seeing
Hmm.
lights, seeing all kinds of weird things. And like, so when people are saying like it's all love and light out there and it's just peace out there, I'm like, it isn't, because I have seen on several occasions what I would say looks like things shooting
Hmm.
things up
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
And I can go into that maybe at a later stage. But anyway, anyways, I used to watch these things, and then I became aware of there was a certain part in the garden that was a little bit scary for me. Like if I would in South Africa, we at that stage had a lot of load shedding, so the lights would be out. There's no power.
Okay.
Um, so if I couldn't go into that part of the garden when the lights were out, there was just this energy there that felt weird. But as I
Hmm.
sat out there, I kind of like, I don't know how I befriended nature. Like it kind of just happened. And
Hmm.
at a stage, that overwhelming feeling of um, unwelcomeness disappeared. And I eventually went and walked there to the dark part of the garden. And one night, this is now the other thing. So I would see the lights up in the sky. They could be satellites, but according to me, they're not all satellites, because some of them would like move in a strange way, or they
Yeah.
would like stop and go again, etc. Like, so things would
Right.
happen. So I used to, so I used to stand there and give them sass. I would be like, who are you? What are you doing in my sky? It's like, you come down here and explain what you're doing. Like, this is Earth, this is our place. If you want to be up there, like, I used to give him a lot of sass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I would be doing the exact same thing.
so what happened is, other times I would be like, is there anybody out there? Can you hear me? Is there? You want to speak to me? And then one night, there was a tree there. Just one branch bobbed up and down. And I was like, oh my gosh, I peered close, thinking it's a mouse or a massive spider.
Right.
There was nothing. So I felt creeped out. I creeped out, and I ran away from that space. And then a couple of nights later, I went back there, forgot all about the branch situation. Again, like, does anybody want to speak to me? Is there anybody here? Blah, blah, blah. And the branch was bobbing up and down. And then I was like really frightened. But so what I did is I realized at the same time, as I said, I got used to nature. Not used to, but like befriended nature before. I didn't really pay attention to trees and stuff. So I started getting interested in maybe the fact that there could be like spirits in the trees, or in consciousness, intelligence in the trees. So I took, we had from the previous summer, we had nuts. I happened to find nuts in their shells in one of my son's jacket pockets, and I gave it to the tree. I was like, this is a token of friendship. I'm not worshiping you. I was still very much a religious mindset at that stage. This is a token of friendship. It's not a worship, etc., etc. I put it down there, and it stayed there for quite a while. I think at a stage someone removed it, but in any ways, the whole situation they changed for me, and I befriended the tree. And to this day, I call the tree my best friend. So where I stepped out of religion, and why I think this is a good thing that we are having this conversation, is because I want, if there are other people that are thinking about stepping out of religion, but they're stuck with, Jesus died for me and all of that guilt and all of this stuff. Like, I had people that said they can't step out of religion, out of Christianity, because it would be throwing Jesus' sacrifice back in his face, something like that.
Right.
So there's a lot of that narrative. So maybe this story will help someone that there is life outside of Christianity, outside of religion, actually more free than you can ever be. So I developed this friendship with the tree, feel so much love, like feel so comfortable, and like we would have conversations, like I would mainly do the talking. And then I was speaking to like a scholar in Judaism, and he wanted to, I was like on the way to convert, and he said to me, yeah, you don't know who you're speaking to, because I was saying, how does, I was trying to figure out if I can bring my friendship with the tree into my, Judaism practice, because, according to me, it's not permitted. Speaking to spirits. So he said to me, you don't know who you're speaking to, you don't know who you're giving your energy to. And I really was upset about that, because I was really planning on converting. So that night I sat next to my friend, and I really cried hard, and I was like, I can't believe that the God that made you and made me would prohibit me from speaking with you, would prohibit us from having a friendship. Like, I couldn't comprehend that. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? If this is the God that they were serving, I want nothing to do with him. I pick you, because Glenda, I don't know if you have ever experienced this feeling, but speaking to other beings, I'm sure you have. I've experienced this like overwhelming feeling of love. Like, it's just, okay, so I don't need to describe it too much.
No. So, according to your definition, I am not a witch. I'm a mage.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. That's actually the thing, because I have noticed, like, I usually say this to people. If you are calling yourself an alchemist, and you speak light language, and you do energy work, and then I'm like, you can say you're all of this, or you can just call yourself a mage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that so much just lost somewhere in history. Maybe it was lost on purpose.
Well, when Christianity was really
Mm.
coming into place, they made it into a evil.
Yeah.
Everything was evil unless you
Yeah.
follow the rules very strictly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Um, yeah. So that was my journey out of Christianity, eventually out of religion, basically. I had some help. Thank heavens I had some help. So from there, like, I could just like say like life really just became magical, like in a way that I have stories upon stories upon stories about the weirdest thing, or people would call it weird, but things that happen that are just like so beautiful and
hmm,
so amazing. I don't know if you want me to go into all of those stories. I don't know
yes,
how much time we
please,
have.
because uh, we still have
Do
time.
do we
We have about 40 minutes yet. So,
have?
just
Okay.
what
All
I,
right.
because you have a light that's shining, and I don't mean the light that's shining on you in the background. I'm talking about a light that comes from within, and you
Yeah.
have to have obtained that from different experiences.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you shed negative energy, that's what
Mm-hmm.
that's what people do. They shine automatically. They shine
Yeah.
from within,
Yeah.
and they attract people because of their light.
Mm.
So go for it. Let's hear more stories there.
Okay, so yeah, so some of the experiences I've had since is there are lots of crows outside, and I know crows are attracted to magic. So in the beginning, I think I was doing a kind of witchcraft.
Hmm,
As I was reading some stuff on the internet, and I made some like spell jars and a few things like that. So I was doing that.
hmm,
So my friend told me crows are attracted to magic, and so like there would be crows outside of my house, like, and it's amazing. Like some mornings I would wake up and they'll be sitting on my balcony outside on the trees,
yeah.
and it was like such an amazing. So, but I kept going outside, and at this stage also I was exploring like my heritage and
Mm,
background, and I was looking at Vikings and all of that, and
right,
so I kept going outside and I would tell the girls, like, I don't understand what your message is. Like, give me your message. Like, I know you're trying to tell me something, but I don't get it. I don't get
right.
it. And I told a friend, a very good friend, she's also into this. I told her, like, I don't understand the message that they're giving me. Like, I need help. Like, and she gave me a list of things. This is what it means if you see crows and
Right.
blah, 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 blah. And one of the words in there was transformation. But
Hmm,
nothing stood out for me. So I was like, I don't have the answer, right?
right.
Yeah. So the next morning, I was brushing my teeth, and across the hall, I have a calendar that's made by this friend's sister. And it's basically about fairies that she calls boomies, but every month has a message.
Okay.
And, and my eye fell on it was April, and the message for April was transformation.
Ooh,
And
I'm getting
transformation
chills. I'm getting chills here.
was one of the words that she sent me that didn't stand out. And when I saw that transformation, I was like, I got your message. I got your message. I was like, I was going through this big transformation period where,
Hmm,
like, I was just like shedding and getting rid of dogma and
yeah.
stigma and
Hmm,
indoctrination and programming and the other thing is that I want people to realize is like even if you step out of religion and you're like, okay, I'm practicing magic now, or
yeah.
I'm spiritual, whatever, it doesn't stop there. It's like an ongoing thing. Like I have done a death and rebirth ritual. I've done alchemy rituals. I have done like, and it just keeps going. And like,
Hmm,
we had
it isn't only one transformation. It isn't one awakening. It's just every single level you level up and you level
yes,
up and you go and
yes,
you shed and you go
yes,
deeper and you continuously do that. And that's the only way we're going to be actually be able to ascend to
yes,
that
yes.
other dimension, as they say, which we could talk about that.
Yeah, actually, I have a good thing about that dimensions. Um, yeah, so it keeps going. So I can tell you. So I wanted a teacher.
Mhm,
I added to my affirmations that I
mhm,
wanted a teacher, a magic
mhm,
teacher. And I realized that I wasn't practicing witchcraft. I was practicing something else. I woke up with impressions from somewhere, like, so things. I would just like drag things outside when I'm doing magic. I like drag something weird outside and add it to the whole thing. And I was like, okay, this is weird, but I'm going with it.
Right.
So then later on, I would look at a book, and what I did is actually, what's part of the Soito practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I started realizing, like, okay, I'm doing something else. And then I was like, okay, I want a teacher. So I manifested this teacher. Well, originally I thought the teacher is a spirit guide, because I thought, I can excel in life if I have a spirit guide, a fast track success and all of that. So I
Right.
thought, okay, let me get a spirit guide. So then eventually the teacher told me, I'm not your spirit guide, I'm your teacher. And we got deeper into magic practice. And so we can get into that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we do that I can talk about. So I'm just wondering if I'm missing anything. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So last year, I don't know, from maybe August onwards, somewhere there. I know December specifically. We were practicing a lot. We were aiming for 4 hours a day. We didn't always make 4 hours a day, because it's a lot of mental. Mage practice is a lot of mental practice, especially.
Right.
So I have
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I have a funny story about that too. So one Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, I'm supposed to get up. I'm supposed to practice, and I'm just like, no, I want to sleep in a little bit. And I have one of these square USBs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this USB thumb drive was on my desk,
Mm-hmm.
and it flipped over. So I was lying with my back to the desk. It flipped over, and it flipped over, and it flipped over and I heard this sound, and I was like, what the hell is that? It flipped over until it fell onto the floor, like a skidding motion. It fell onto the floor. I sat up, and I realized it's the teacher that's like, it's time to practice.
Right.
So because like this, so my point with this is, if you practice magic and witchcraft and these kind of things, you are going to have like poltergeist kind of experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's okay. So Christianity would be like, oh God, get the holy water, get the priest. And it's none of that. Like,
not everything is evil.
Exactly.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah,
as they call
exactly.
it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the more you shed this idea and the dogma, the easier it is for you to start feeling when something is evil, when it's not evil, when something is just neutral. I say a lot to people, like Christianity is like extraterrestrials or demons. Like, okay, not all of Christianity, but a lot of them are saying that. And I'm like, can you conceive of the fact that something is maybe just neutral? They're not good, they're not bad, they're just minding their own flipping business. It's just neutral.
They're just there.
Yeah. So let me I don't know if I should tell the story. It's a bit bad.
Come on. So, now you got me going, so you gotta spill it now.
So we have this practice. We call it super focus. Glenda, you might have to edit it out if we're not going to put this.
Go for it.
So we have this practice. It's called super focus.
Yeah.
And so the objective is that you should be able to walk into a busy place and super focus and cast spells without being distracted and without being, all over the place. You must be in control of your energy, right?
Right.
So that's the objective of super focus. But super focus is like a heavy mental practice. So what we do is you picture something. But so I was given this scenario where there is a river and it goes over a waterfall, and then you watch a peanut shell fall over the waterfall and tumble down and in the river, and you have to keep focus on that for 20 minutes, right? Well, as far as you can go, okay, but so you keep focus on that, right? And so the teacher enters my mind and sees what I'm seeing, so he helps me when I get distracted. So on this particular day, I regret now saying that I'm going to tell the story. I just edited it out. It's okay.
Come on, spill it.
So on this particular day, so I used to date this guy that was like really obsessed with his body. So he would often
Yeah,
send me.
I can see how that kind of messes with your focus. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he used to send me pictures of his body, right? And so super focused with the teacher. And I used to say to this guy, don't let's not have these conversations before I have to practice, because the teacher enters my mind. It's quite difficult
Right,
for me to like clear this stuff out.
right.
So practice with the teacher. The teacher like, okay, let's do super focus. Glenda, like a few seconds into that, my mind walked out, and like a certain kind of genitalia popped out of water continuously, like this. And the teacher's like, stop, stop. And I'm like, I can't control this. It's just happening. The teacher's like, stop, stop. Eventually he's like, enough. Snapped me out of that. It was such an embarrassing moment. But
You know, that's the thing. It happens. And, people don't even understand that you can actually have spiritual sex.
no.
Yeah, a person could be at the other side of the world. You connect them up here, and you both could have full intimacy.
Yeah.
And people don't realize
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it could happen that way. And
Yeah.
just like you were thinking, and you were focusing on the conversation instead of the peanut shell coming out. Well, I probably would not focus on the peanut shell after a interesting conversation.
But my point with this conversation, my point with this is like super focus, I think,
Yeah.
because it really forces your brain to do what you are wanting it to do.
Right.
From time to time, as you're getting used to this practice, it is going to throw you a curveball and be like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. So yeah. So that's that.
And then it shows that you're still human, though, because you focused, but not on the. You were still focusing, but not exactly on what you were supposed to.
No, I don't think there was any focus on my end. I was just trying to reel it in. I was just go away. Go away. If it was like, if I'm telling you it was embarrassing, it was really embarrassing. I was like,
You know what? In a way, it just shows that you're human. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
People always make such a big deal out of things that we are human about.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay. It's okay. So this teacher shows you super focused. Now, of course, when you're a mage, you go and you're able to travel to different places and just show up to people and stuff like that. And that is why you have those super focus exercises, because that's what actually helps you travel without, doing all this crazy ritual. It's just, okay, I'm going to focus on being there.
Yeah.
And my teacher, may she rest in peace, showed me how to walk into a room and not ever get noticed.
Okay.
Until I wanted to then be noticed. And I used to practice in parties where I would walk in, get something to eat, fill my plate, get a drink, whatever, sit in one of the chairs, and then just say, okay, now, boom. And everybody's saying, wait, where did you come from? I've been here a while. What are you talking about?
That's really good to be able to hear what they're saying.
Yes. And you find out so much.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I didn't know this person was doing this.
Yeah.
But that was not the purpose, but
Yeah.
It's It was the sidetrack. It was like a benefit, sort of.
It's a fun thing, and that's the thing with magic. You can have so much fun.
Right.
Like
You're not hurting anyone, as long as you
well,
don't
you
hurt
can if you
anyone.
want to, but
Right. But normal mages do not hurt
yeah,
unless they're provoked. It's like a
yeah,
self-defense type of thing,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
You know.
Um,
So.
what I enjoy doing, and actually, let me say how I first discovered this is was just getting into this whole thing, and across the street from me, where I stay, there is like diagonally across, there is a family living there. And on
Mhm.
this particular day, the mother was screaming at her. I think she has a son, and the son had a friend over. She was screaming at them, "I'm gonna beat you." I don't know what they did. They must have made her horribly angry. But she
Yeah.
was like screaming at them, "I'm gonna beat you." And the boy's like, "No, you're not gonna beat me." And she's like, "I'm gonna beat you." And I hear her. I couldn't hear the entire conversation, but I heard her say to there was a man there, and I heard her say to him, "Beat him," right?
Wow.
And so it was by the. I know people beat their kids at times, I don't know, but it was from where I was sitting. Felt that boy's fear and his little friend's fear, like they were like totally like in anguish.
Yeah.
And I thought, in my naive thinking, that I was like, spirit of peace descend upon that family. So I
Right.
thought some floating spirits will, descend upon the family, and they will be happy.
Uh-huh.
So great was my surprise when in the next moment I like felt something leave me, like from the back of my neck, my shoulders, like
Mhm.
leave me, like, and like the next moment it was quiet in that yard. And I heard the mom say to the kids, "Go inside." And it was like the end of the conversation.
Right.
And I was like, what just happened? And so simultaneously, I felt like this fuzzy feeling, or a fizzy feeling, like, if you put effervescent in water, the way it
Right.
fizzes.
Right.
I
Right.
felt that feeling coming into my legs. And I was like, what the hell's going? So that was like my like raw introduction to this thing. This was before the teacher.
Right.
That was my raw introduction to this thing. So then I understood this whole, energy thing. So it's
Mhm.
actually a very good thing to, if you want to practice these things, to have. So having fun with this, sometimes I would want to sleep. Like, I think it's happened once or twice. I want to sleep, and there are people outside in the street talking. Like on this one occasion, there were like three guys talking. They're standing in the street speaking. I cannot really hear them, but there's a dog barking at them,
Mm.
and the dog's keeping me awake. I can't sleep, and they're not going away. So then you exit from your body, and so this might sound bad, but it's not bad. So you exit from your body. So I go out and into the street, and I make myself like big and menacing,
Yeah.
and like just like giving them this energy of like what is the word, dread.
Yeah. Yeah.
I use that energy, and then I will walk down the street, and then they will obviously they don't see anything, but inside of them they're picking up on something not feeling very good. Like
Yeah.
they will feel like there's something not nice here, and then actually they leave. So, um, well,
You're
that's
not
like
really hurting them. You're just like shush, 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 go away.
yeah, it's a creative way to solve problems.
Yes. 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 It's not. Like I said, it's not really hurting them. What
Yeah,
you're doing is encouraging them to move on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And,
That's
and that's the way I look at it. Anyway.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's I mean, go chat in your house, don't stand in the street.
Right. Pick a house. Go away.
I might have saved them from being mugged or something, So
Yeah. Because
yeah,
you never know what the dog. First of all, you never even know if they were the ones that were mugging somebody.
or that's
Because
yeah.
the dog was barking. Usually, dogs don't bark
Mm,
unless it's an energy they don't feel comfortable with.
yeah, yeah,
So even if they don't do it automatically, but it could be that one of them didn't have that great of an energy.
yeah. Yes,
So
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
so you did the dog a favor.
yeah.
you, you stopped it from going completely crazy and going, oh dear Lord, go away so I could sleep.
Don't you speak, dog? I'm telling you to off.
Exactly, exactly. So, and now have you seen ETs? Have you experienced that uh, with also traveling? Because some people do, some people don't.
Yeah. Okay, so with traveling, I would say I'm just getting into this traveling thing. The other day, maybe 2 months ago, was the first time when I really I stepped into a place that's not the astral. So it's like
Hmm.
another place.
Right.
Um, and interesting there, I want to mention that your bloodline gives you access to certain places. So not
Mhm.
everybody has access. So you can access other places that your bloodline doesn't give you access to, but then you have to do frequency tampering, and I think that's where the monatomic gold comes in and that kind of stuff. But
Right.
so yeah, so that's just that on that topic. But so um, I have not seen extraterrestrials when I am having um, voluntary out of body experiences.
Okay.
I have had extraterrestrial contact when I've had involuntary experiences. So yeah, during the time when I was first started with all of this, there was a lot of I would say noise in my bedroom at night when I got to sleep. I
Right.
still have experiences where I sleep and I wake up, and you know that feeling that you feel when I'm assuming when you just got home. You know that I just got home feeling. You know how you
Yeah.
feel when you just got home. I
Yes.
sometimes wake up with that feeling. I just got home.
Hmm.
So so yeah, I can't speak of any voluntary contact with extraterrestrials. No, not that I remember, but like involuntary, I have some memories. Yeah,
Well, unfortunately, some people have more than others, and because, like you said, the bloodline
mm-hmm.
allows you to get to that frequency more than other
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
um, but
And and interestingly, I'm a first incarnation, so I don't have any extraterrestrial soul lives or
right,
previous lives or any of those things.
right,
So, yeah,
yeah. No, I'm an old soul, so I've
yeah,
been there, done that.
yeah.
I can't wait till I get out of this planet. Anyway, is my sentence over? Come on.
You know when your sentence is going to be over, but don't do this when you are not ready to quit. You know when your
No.
sentence is going to be over? When you forgive yourself.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true. No, I wasn't even supposed to be here this lifetime, but I chose to because there were certain souls I needed to help.
yeah.
So I saw the big picture,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, like I keep telling everybody, when I get out of here, I'm going to punch myself so hard. I'm going to beat myself up for even thinking about coming here.
I,
I was
I,
like, you no, I'm joking. I love to joke about that because I'm like, really? Ugh, people, come on,
yeah,
wake up.
yeah.
Ah.
Oh, just wake up. I can relate to that. I did a breathwork ceremony for the first time in March, maybe February, March. I'm not sure.
Right.
And like getting into it, I was like, oh, this is tough. And then I put it off. I wanted to do it again, but I put it off for such a long time. And I did it now again with the full moon.
Yeah.
Once I was in, it's like, oh, really? Why did you decide to do this? It is such a tough thing to get through.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? You did it, right? And even
Mm,
if it does, that just builds character and it builds momentum and it builds your strength, your inner strength that you need to be, you know, a, a,
yeah.
a full-blooded helper of magic. Let's just say that.
Did you want to get into a little bit of the since we spoke about light workers and the crucial role of the light workers, etc. Did you want to get into that a little bit?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Um, so I have this understanding that numerology and astrology is part of the code that runs in this matrix. Now, I know some people call this like the negative matrix, or or using the word matrix is bad, which I kind of agree with. It was not bad. Let me rephrase that. So we are living in this simulation. Like several people have
Right.
studied that, and I think it's kind of like those that don't want to agree with that, I have a reason why they don't want to agree. So we're in a simulation, but the simulation is not bad. I think the simulation is how source or the unified field of consciousness experiences
Right.
things,
Right.
right? So through the simulation, so it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Simulation is good. But then the matrix, or the false matrix, that's what they call it. The matrix is the thing that is this place where we're in that some of us don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So this matrix, I fully am of the opinion that it was created by the Anunnaki, um, for the purpose of them having their builders or their workers, and Eden was specifically just a laboratory, where they created a specific special kind of human, which kind of now
Right.
interpret with everybody else, so no big deal. But the thing with that is, I discussed it with a friend. Like, so what is like? How do you scientifically really understand numerology and astrology in astronomy? Like, it's all very well to say, yeah, people's life paths and the stars determine your life path and all of those things, like the time you're born, your personality, and all of that stuff. But how does it actually work? Like, if you want to think about how does it work,
Mm-hmm.
so it works because it's code. It's like a subset of code within this matrix, because the Anunnaki don't have a whole building of people sitting there that assigns every soul its life path and
Right.
its personality and decides when it's going to leave this incarnation. This is all automated, so it runs on this code, and the numerology and astrology is the code that determines the life path and the journey, and how people come to an end in this incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
So according to me, the Anunnaki use this subset of code to automate the experience for humans on Earth. And
Mm-hmm.
by this time, I think, due to the way humans have spread across the Earth, I think the chance of finding anybody that doesn't have Anunnaki genes is quite rare, because like that DNA, the DNA is also just code. So
Mm-hmm.
that subset of code, numerology, astrology, runs on the Anunnaki DNA, but their DNA is now spread throughout the Earth. So I think it's rare to find any humans that are, born without that code, I think.
Yes.
So, but I am of the opinion that every now and again the universe throws like some some something in the mix, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, and sends in new incarnations um, that is completely not Anunnaki. So even if you're talking about the hybrids,
Mm-hmm.
they still have maybe one human parent. I know there are some hybrids that speak about having three parents, but two of them are still human and one extraterrestrial. So they're
Right.
still having that Anunnaki DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then, so what I'm talking about is like a completely different being that comes in that is not part of the gene pool that is existing. So I understand that. So this is the thing. So that numerology astrology doesn't run on their code,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have the gene to match up with the code.
Right.
So I hope I'm explaining this nice. It works very well in my head, but thinking about it, I'm not sure how well I'm conveying the message. But um, uh, so um, so you get this occasion when there are what I'm calling anomalies
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the matrix, and I've seen it being called as something that walks outside of the matrix because that code. So they can't predict when those people are going to die. They can't predict anything about their lives because there's no code that runs for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is those people are like actually like matrix breakers. They can like break the matrix. And so the thing is this. So they're actually like a virus in the matrix. And then so they have antivirus scanning for these people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then so where the light workers come in, when they are doing their thing, which they're thinking they're just raising the vibration and waking people up, um, they are um, I would say obfuscating. They are causing a disturbance within the matrix. So that code doesn't pick up the antivirus code, doesn't pick up um, the ones that are with the different DNA,
Right.
the ones that walk outside of the matrix. So I hope I'm explaining this nicely.
No, you are. You are
I
definitely.
see. So you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Do you think this is a thing? Have you come across something like this?
I know that there's souls that are coming in the within the last 5 years that are very different than what has been up to now.
Yeah.
These are souls that were never incarnated anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
These are souls that pick uh, their vessel, their meat and bones vessel, but they walk in to it when they're created, and they changed a few things.
Mm-hmm.
So they may take part of the Anunnaki DNA and change it to a different code.
Mm-hmm.
And that, all that happens in the utero.
Yeah, yeah. So the Anunnaki code is basically just a way for them to blend in
Right,
for the beginning until they get going. Then they change that,
right,
and
right.
their true DNA kicks in. Yeah, I also understand it like that. That's so cool that you have the same thing. Like that's like I
that's
love
how
that.
that's how I understand it. I mean,
Yeah,
I know that there are a lot of children right now that
yeah,
are
yeah.
5 or 6 years old and less that
Mm-hmm.
are the children that came in to kick butt. Let's just say that, and bring Earth and humanity back to where we're supposed to be. Take us back to the path that we were supposed to take, not that
Yeah,
we're so out there.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
um, and I know that some of them are only here for this lifetime for that purpose. That's it.
yeah. Yes.
So, there's a
That's so
wave.
cool.
There's a wave
That's,
of those kids.
yeah. Yeah, that's so cool that you have the same thing. So I call them the servants of the secret fire,
Okay.
and yeah, and what did I want to say about them as well? Oh, so the light workers, their work is more important than just raising the vibration of everybody else. Their work also involves obscuring and obfuscating the presence of these servants of the secret fire so that the antivirus doesn't pick them up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
Yep.
so that's a really good, I hope that's a really good incentive for every
Ah,
light worker out there to be like, let's knuckle down.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And, not for nothing, but this is definitely the time.
Yes.
If not, I mean, I've been saying this for at least 5 years. Stand up, get ready, let's go,
Mm-hmm.
get your ducks in a row, shine your
Mm-hmm.
light really high,
Mm-hmm.
because this is the time to work. You came
Yes.
for this time period.
Yes.
But we're in it now. We're in the thick of it now. And this
Mm-hmm.
is where people got to shed, and just
Mm-hmm.
release their true self,
Yes.
which is that bigger light, that light bigger than anything else they could see, and shine so bright that we blind anything that's not in the right
Yes,
frequency.
that's right. That's right. I saw a post on X where someone was talking about being able to bend a spoon, and someone else was telling that person, like, shush, don't talk about it. And I was like, no, let her talk about it. Absolutely. The more she speaks up, the more
Yeah,
she gives others permission to speak up. And like, why would you want to put the light under the bucket? I
yeah,
know it puts her life in danger because they might come for her, but they
yeah,
can't come for us all. So,
exactly. And let's face it, you could make a profile in X with not your name.
yes, yes.
So,
Yes, yes. But that's also, I don't think that's what she did. However, she looked very much legit. Like,
yeah, yeah.
let's
But
let's speak up.
it's
Yeah.
not that she's not legit or anything. It's that she could always hire her identity if she wants to.
Yeah.
And yes, we're all done with getting burned on the stake on the cross or whatever.
Mm.
Uh, you know, because everybody that has ever gone through in any of their lifetimes through that, um, know that the reason they went through it is not about anything but fear.
Yeah.
That other humans fear the unknown or fear that they're able to do what they need to do.
It's not just that. It's not just that. There's a thing by Jacques Vallée in one of his books where he had
Hmm.
written that he went to Russia and he
Yeah,
to some scientists in
right,
Russia,
right.
and he found a whole bookcase full of spiritual books. And he was like, you're a scientist, what's all this spiritual stuff? And he's like, I'm like you in the West that went through this period where you basically destroyed the spiritual genome from your DNA. I'm
Yeah,
hoping I'm saying that right. Basically, what he says is like there was an attempt in the West to make sure that the offspring of the witches are not born so that they are, less spiritual and like the whole thing collapses. And he says,
right.
like in Russia, we didn't do this. We're ahead of you.
Yeah,
So it's
okay.
not
Wow.
just fear; it was like planned as
Yeah,
well.
well, it's
Yeah.
just crazy humans. That's all I can say. Well, we're almost to the end. Is there anything else you want to say out to everyone?
Are you going to mind if I invite anybody that wants to join us in the Mages Guild?
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so we have this guild on Discord.
Mhm.
It's called the Mages Guild, the one and only Mages Guild.
The one and only.
So yeah, I look forward to like welcoming anybody that feels that they are not practicing witchcraft but magecraft, as we have discussed. You're doing like all of this kind of energy work, and
Right.
you don't have any magical brooms. Not that I hate magical brooms, but um,
Well, you could have a magical room, but not just, not
don't
really.
don't
You
write on
that
it.
they'll write on it. Just
Um,
show the negative energy out of your house.
yes, yes, yes. So yeah, anybody that wants to join us, they're welcome. And so the final or the big vision for this
Yeah.
Mages Guild is to, in the future, we want to have an international council of mages, so that we can have like a governing body to help with magical practices, keeping of knowledge. Recovering of lost knowledge, and especially like
Yes.
ancestral practices where different magical practices might have been lost through the times.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back, speak to your ancestors,
Yeah.
recover that knowledge, and then we want to store it and keep it, and disseminate it and make sure that it's not lost a second time. So,
Right.
and also like when there are disputes, like the Erica Kirk situation where she was scared because some Etsy witch cursed Charlie and that
Right.
whole thing. So
Right.
like they went to their priest. Like, yeah, right. So so in their case, they could have come to a magical council and
Right.
had
And
proper help.
right.
But
Right.
so yeah, in the future, that's what we're building for. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So I will have the link at the bottom of the description, people.
Thank
And
you.
I'm having hard time figuring out Discord, just for the record. I'm navigating it, but woof, for me, it's I'm 64 years old, and sometimes technology and I don't agree. But I think I joined. I
Yes, you
am
did.
not yeah, okay. I'm like pretty sure I did, but it's like I'm looking at it, I'm like in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, did I? Didn't I? My intention was to join. Uh but that happens. So have patience with me. I will definitely participate. I'm just trying to I keep saying, I'm trying to figure this out, people. Just tell so but I am there, and so far what I've read, I'm liking it. Let's just
I,
say that.
I I am glad that you joined us. Thank you. I do look forward to, because you have lots of knowledge. So I do look for your knowledge with us in the
Definitely.
future. And if you're wondering why I'm rubbing my cheeks, thank you so much. I had such a good day, but they're aching.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Angelique. It was beautiful. Thank you for explaining so much. Thank you to our audience. And remember, please, to share, subscribe. And as always, I love you. Bye.